For those that catch the replay on YouTube, I'm gonna ask you guys to please smash the like button. I'm gonna ask you guys to please smash the like button. Share this live. Um, this is a very, very important conversation that we're gonna have today. Um, let me just start with, let me just intro with this, and of course, we're gonna go into some news, some breaking news that just pop up. As a matter of fact, let me share one of the breaking news with you guys. There's some terrible breaking news. An oil tanker driver is recovering in the hospital after a terrifying crash along the Brandal Hill Main Road Tuesday night. Reports are that the driver was heading towards Kingston when he reportedly lost control of the heavy duty vehicle. The truck veered off the roadway and plunged down the precipice, leaving it lodged in a gully. Emergency responders pulled the injured driver from the wreckage and rushed him to the Anata Bay Hospital. These hospitals in Jamaica, mighty God, on the pray for mayor, where he remained under medical care. Up to Wednesday morning, the tanker was still stuck below the roadway. Um, recovery efforts expected later in the day. Motorists are being urged to exercise caution while traveling along the stretch of road. Police have launched an investigation into the crash. Guys, any road at all in Jamaica, I would encourage you guys to take caution. Not just not just that road. Another thing that I saw in the breaking news column, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Mommy members of my life, mighty God. Mommy, mommy, members of my life and the music. If you sing that are one thing, but the music, we can't hear the music in a something. Here's a crash. No, that was a good while ago. Where is it? I just had it up and them take it down. Come on, I have everything lined up, and them come mess with me something. There's a cocaine seizure, ladies and gentlemen, 22 minutes ago. The police in St. Thomas has seized more than $400 million worth of cocaine. Acting on intelligence on Tuesday night, the cops said they swooped down on premises in the what is Landaway area. Landaway area. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Where the drugs were hidden. They say they found 23 knitted bags containing the contraband, which weighed more than 1,600 pounds. The two Jamaicans were arrested in connection with the seizure. Their identities are being withheld by cops pending further probe. Very interesting. Let's see how long their identity will be held, ladies and gentlemen. Joanne Sinclair, how are you doing? Bless you. So that is some some breaking news. The crash, as well as the cocaine seizure. Um, Man unalive by police in Portmore. Gun allegedly seized. This was 1 hour ago. So one more person's life was taken by the police, ladies and gentlemen. And it's alleged that a gun was seized. The Independent Commission of Investigation, INDICOM, has launched a probe into the fatal shooting of a man in St. Catherine on Tuesday. He has been identified as Davion Richard McDonald of Newell, Portmore, St. Catherine. Reports are that about 11:50 a.m., the police were on patrol in Portmore when they received information regarding gunmen traveling in a Toyota Probox motor car in the Cumberland area. So they were responding to um, information regarding gunmen traveling in a Toyota Probox. Um, yeah, we hope that this probe does not yield to another suspicious activity by the police. All that $72,000 nuts. How you do? You send $72,000? How that nuts? What's up, nuts? Hi, Nereid. A good day. How you doing? Yes, guys. For my TikTok family, like and share the live. 50,000 likes, please. Right here. Let me see what else is going on in the news. Another major fire causes widespread. No, that is a different country. Under 2 years left for Dodos. That's also breaking news. Um, Critical condition. The UHWI Review Committee lists finances, governance structure among a slew of woes crippling hospital. If I have time, we'll get to that. But I think that has to be a live stream within itself. RJ, bless up to you, bless up to you. When you say favor, say so? Oh my God. I will favor do. You know, say favor out of news. For a growing number of Jamaican educators, the classroom is no longer limited to physical space, but extended to their social media feed, where teachers, experts, and experience become, content for an engaged online audience comprising students, parents, and even colleagues. Okay. All right, big up the educator then we'll soon talk about, Let me just share that. But what is CNN founder? Okay. Yes, so that's some of the Trump threatens Iran with bombing if it does not reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The war has gotten worse. Andrew, how are you doing? The war is getting worse, ladies and gentlemen. The war is getting worse. From my side on TikTok, I know say it's only 19 of you here right now, but I guarantee you, if all of you work together and double tap the screen like this, you're going to get help. It's a signal to get help, so we can get to 50K. Can we break the record today and get it done in an hour? We have literally what 52 minutes left before we reach an hour. Sassy said she fell asleep listening to me last night. Oh my God, that must have been the best sleep you ever had, Sassy. I like. Tell me the truth. Eh? You're supposed to get you're supposed to get all one revelation last night. You know, dream. Carly, how you doing? Bless up to you, bless up to you. For my people on Bolo VNR 2.0, please observe the live goal and whoever can help to make the live goal met. I appreciate you in advance. And shout out to all of my thank you nuts for the floating heart. Shout out to all of my wonderful, honorable members of the platform. Big shout out to you to catch this replay. All right. Um, it's a growing number, and I can't wait for it to go into double figures and then double figures. So I want to invite others to become an honorable member of Bolo VNR 2.0. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Hello? Yeah, hello? Yes. What do you mean? Did it talk to you boss already? We telling me date, telling me that the weekend. Oh, that I feel the last something. No man, I just the nine alone. I just the nine alone, the half alone. That yeah, yeah, exactly. Come they already have the other something already. For something. I'm there on it. Yeah man. I'm there on the live, Yeah, me did tell him say the weekend. Yeah, I think. Me have a look at this something on the weekend. It's yeah man, me I text him. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Sorry about the interruption, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. All right, so let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. Big shout out to Mystic Sensation. This what he said here is super important in regards to Juliet Owens and her the way how she does her job as Speaker of the House. And I think it's important for us to all to know what this information. So let's get into that first, and then we go to um, the leader of the opposition, and then we go to Andrew Owens and what I'm here to talk about. Yes.
As it relates to Angela Brown Burke, right? I just love her. I just love her. I mean, I mean, overwhelmingly. Can't just love her one more time. Love her too much, right? And so then we are going to give some highlights where that is concerned. But Jamaica, this is what I want to say to you as it relates to Juliet Honest and Andrew Honest.
Jennifer,
Obviously,
how are you?
they believe that they own Jamaica. They believe that they are operating a monarchical government. They believe that they are entitled to take taxpayers' monies and no accountability. Now, we have seen Juliet Honest try to manhandle the opposition in Parliament, try to suppress the opposition in Parliament. Doesn't want to give the opposition any form of leeway because she decided that she's bull and dopey conqueror. Well, tonight, right, we are going to expose her. Now, here is Juliet Honest trying to, speak about discipline, try to speak about ethics, right? And yet, she has none. She has broken all the rules, right, whenever she wants. Andrew Honest breach the Constitution whenever they want. And it's okay, right? Because, of course, they are the Napoleons, they are the Hitlers, you name it. And so then this is the approach that they are coming with. But let me just remind Juliet Honest of something as it relates to how she need as a House Speaker, what the House Speaker are to do, that the House Speaker has to strike balance and fairness.
Very important.
And that is within the Constitution. So I want to remind Juliet Honest of that document.
Thank you,
and before I go any further, that is the document that I want to remind Juliet Honest as it relates to the function and the responsibility, the primary responsibility of the House Speaker, where fair and balance concerned. Okay, all right. We have Sister Maria joined us. All right, blessings. All right, let me. Okay, so let us just remind Juliet Honest as it relates to the Constitution, because she's behaving in a way right to suppress the opposition. So we want to bring this out tonight. Here it is. The Speaker of the House of Representatives in Jamaica is constitutionally, Juliet Honest, let me say this to you, constitutionally mandated to be a neutral arbiter. Do you understand the primary thing here within the Constitution? Jamaica is constitutionally mandated to be a neutral arbiter, presiding over debates with impartiality. This is what you have done wrong that lead my sister Angela Brownberg to touch that mace. Here is the Constitution is telling you that you need to preside over debates with impartiality. Our sister has been complaining. So many times she had rung the buzz. So many times she alert you, the speaker, for her to present her motion, but you denied her. You blatantly denied her because you're a dictator. You decided that whatever she's saying, she's going to say is not important. And you don't want to hear from her. Our parliament doesn't run like that. So I am remind you of what is constitutionally expected of you. Here it is, Juliet Owens. The Speaker of the House of Representatives is Jamaica, is constitutionally mandated to be a neutral arbiter, presiding over debates with impartiality, enforcing parliamentary rules, and protecting minority rights. You have done none of this, Juliet. However, the current Speaker, Juliet Owens, has faced intense criticism and accusations of bias and partisan inclination, prompting.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is my thing, right? I want to know, and I'm asking the People's National Party. I don't know if anybody that represents the party on any level is listening. It is in the realm of possibility that they are listening, if they are listening. Juliet Owens has become such a nuisance to democracy as a Speaker of the House. I would love for you guys to take her to court under this, where the Constitution is concerned. It is in the Constitution that she is mandated. It's not if she breaches a mandate of the Constitution, there has to be consequences. And I think it's enough to remove her from as Speaker of the House. She has become that suffocating and untenable that I believe this is an option that the People's National Party needs to explore. Granted, there are several fires that are burning right now as the Jamaica Labour Party is in leadership. Several fires. Things are not going well, is saying it lightly. You understand? Where government institutions are concerned. Today's Education Day, I believe, our Teachers Day. Today's Teachers Day. This is Education Week. And that in itself is a sore point. But we're going to get into that. But I believe, I believe that they should explore this particular, the Constitution. And there's many evidence in Hansard, on clip, that you can point to, perusing the standing order to make a case against Juliet Owens. Many evidence where other members of the Jamaica Labour Party has operated in such a way, and she has not sanctioned them, but she seeks to embarrass, talk down to the People's National Party members as if they're children and they're dogs. Angela Brownberg is just a recent case. You understand? She has proven time and time again that she cannot be neutral. And she's mandated to do so. So I am challenging the People's National Party. All right? It doesn't have to be Mark Jefferson Golden. Any of you listening to me right now? Please use this and go to the Constitutional Court about Juliet Owens. The situation has gotten way out of hand. And given what we saw while Dr. Angela Brownberg was, delivering her speech, the fact that Juliet Owens didn't stick around to listen at all, none of it, tells us that she will remain wrong and strong, and you guys will have the same issue. And we, the Jamaican people, is having the issue too, because you guys are representing us against the government. That's what the opposition is there for, to be the voices of the people. And if the voices of the people is being suppressed, interrupted, not heard extensively, not even given the chance to be heard. Is stopped and is being asked, what are you going to say before you say it? It's nonsense and it's too much. She's suffocating democracy. And I believe that you guys need to pull the trigger in terms of going to the Constitutional Court. Yes, I think it will be the first time in history, but it deserves this type of action because she has no intention with her dictatorial mindset to step aside. She doesn't have the dignity, neither her or her husband has the dignity to step aside from their position. He's not certified, and that in itself is a red flag. He should not even run for office September 3rd. It shows you their mindset. And them say when the tree don't grow already, it hard feet bend. So here we go on. We have to go to the law. Yes, I wanted to make that point. Now, Mystic Sensation played the clip when she was on the interview, candid with Juliet Wallace. I'm not going to play the clip. I'm going to go. We have got to the point where literally. I'm going to go to what he said. Before I do that, Dr. Angela Brown Burke is a sweetheart. If anyone of you ever met her, I met Angela a few weeks ago, and that hug she gave me, and that little chat out of her time, I will never forget. Man, I can just imagine. I can just imagine. Celine, how you doing? Good afternoon from East Portland. Where you say sun hot and nice. Same thing down here, my baby. Juliet Ones, after she finished her counseling, she left her chair when Dr. Brown was giving her speech. Yes, Andrea, did the Minister of Education address the teachers from morning, not even PM, made a speech? I don't know, you know. Juliet Ones must go. She's not fit for the Speaker of the House position. But I can tell you, there's a lot of court cases pending. Mighty God. Claudel, thank you for the follow. And my side, when I go on good enough, we have a half an hour for each 50,000. So now I've got to step up the tappings a little bit. 57, are you here? It will get easier the more of you double tap the screen at the same time right in the middle. All right? Let's continue. I'm going to go to the part where he responds to her speech.
I'm happy he's what you're surprised.
All right.
For so long.
Listen to this.
Listen any longer. So I'm just going to cut it here.
So you remember the clip where Nikisha Burchell expertly put in the last breakdown of Juliet Onis speaking about how she was on a ticket and that's how she became MP and she has to become an MP to be the Speaker of the House, suggesting that she prioritizes being an MP more than being neutral as the Speaker of the House. Well, they played that clip and more, and now he's going to respond to what she said and make some points that I think is extremely important. Listen to this. But for persons get the likes up, share it. Get the likes up. Get the likes up. Get the likes up. But in this particular, get the likes up, YouTube. Get the likes up. Let's partially mentioned that she cannot please be fair as it relates to the House Speaker because she run on a party ticket, right? And providing that she run on a party ticket, right, she has to do accordingly. But let me just make some critical points. Bless you. Everything that Juliet Owens is saying in that interview, right, is lies after lies after lies after lies. Mighty God. You heard Juliet Owens speaking to the host, yes, saying that he corrected his son in saying that his son need to be more tactful, more understanding towards others. Now I want to know if Juliet Owens, right, show that sort of tactfulness in Parliament. Love you. We have not seen that. And we know that based on Juliet Owens' behavior, right? Juliet Owens is a bully. And in her profile, in dealing with people, even at the land at least flat, she bullied the lady. Wow. Right? That end up in court. Wow. So we know that she's a bully. Now, I want to make her to notice something in terms of what Juliet Owens said.
Because
no, so Juliet Ones did say that her son has this thing about him where he's very blunt when he speaks to people and don't really care about their feelings. And she told him that he needs to be more tactful. So he's saying you need to be tactful as well. Take your preach. I mean, practice what you preach. If you're gonna preach that principle to your son, you need to also exercise the principle as Speaker of the House. You cannot talk to people like they're dogs. Marshall, go for her. Even the way you talk to Marshall was disgusting. Let's continue.
well, as he's saying, from early out, she's a taker. From early out, her her mother have the silver put at a particular place.
Yes.
And she went there and she
Yes.
stole it.
Yes.
We don't know why she put it up.
Until lie. Until
Right?
lie.
She went there and she stole the money.
Yes.
But you can see and hear from her as it relates to the quick response of the lie that she quickly made up. Her mother asked, who is that? She said, me, mommy. And what is in your hand? Oh, some kinds. Where do you get it? Oh, X and X gave it to me.
Jamaica, if you have never heard that clip before when Juliet Onis said that she stole her mother's money, I want you to put a fire emoji in the chat. If I see 10 fire emoji in the chat from 10 different people, I am going to play the clip. You hear what I said? If you are watching right now and you never heard Juliet Onis tell that story in that clip, just put a fire emoji in the chat. If I see 10 fire emojis in the chat, I am going to play the clip. You understand? Go ahead.
The mother knew that she was lying. And so then the following morning, the mother went, right, in terms of generating the evidence and spoke with the person who Juliet Onis said had given her the money. And listen what she said she was doing behind her mother, right? Trying to signal to the person to take up for her, defending her corruption. But the person did not defend it. The person told the mother that he did not give Juliet Onis any money. And then Juliet Onis got a fine spanking. Remember in Jamaica, she is the one who is saying this to us. Now, here it is that Juliet Onis and her husband under investigation for what? Criminality. So the question that I'm asked before I'm going to have Daisy speak to us, did she learn any lesson from her mother? Her mother who tried to instill discipline in her in saying, leave people things alone.
Yes.
Did she leave our treasury alone? No. And so then here it is that they are under investigation, and as it relates to their statutory declaration cannot be certified, Juliet Onis is telling us this out of her mouth, that from when she was a child, she has been stealing. And we make up that.
No.
Juliet Onis had spoken that this is the person, this is the character that we still have in Parliament. She has not learned not one thing. Let me hear back and Lady Maria.
Lady Maria, take the floor, my mama.
With Revoicer, you can generate as many
Why y'all gonna do Lady Maria like that, man? You know how long I don't hear Lady Maria, man.
Sister Maria.
Sure.
Yeah, Baron, I listen to her because I'm forced to listen to her. And, when it comes to those people, I either have to listen to them drunk and high, or under something other than stronger than coffee, because they're not rational human beings. And one of the things I was listening to when she talked about her involvement with her children, going to school, picking them up, and doing all of those things. And the question I have for her is, what has she done to help improve the education sector to make it accessible for average Jamaicans, that other parents can do as she is doing? How has she helped to craft legislation to bring forth changes to laws that will, one, provide a livable wage for parents, and two, provide a system where both mother and father can be involved with their children and not feel the pressures of the economy on them so much so that they are detached from the day-to-day running of a home and involvement with their children, because many parents would like to go to the sports day and go to the activities that their children have. Many children don't have extracurricular activities because their parents can't afford to send them to school, yet alone afford to have them being involved in extracurricular activities. So how has she facilitated that? And she's talking now. I'm sure this interview was done this year, so she's talking now in 2026, and she's talking as a speaker, as a parliamentarian, and being both, she's a part of the legislative branch of the government. So how has she facilitated that for them and made their lives better? Looking on the ground, reading things in the paper, she has done nothing to contribute to that. The question now to her is, how have you helped to facilitate that in your own constituency? And there have been other questions to be asked. Is she a businesswoman moonlighting as a speaker and a member of parliament? Because it will seem that that is more where her interest lies. And then she just shows up to the parliament because she's been paid to do so. And she has to, make it look like she's doing something. And then she comes with the arrogance and the disrespect and the demeaning of other members of the parliament. So there are more questions than answers. And sometimes when she speaks, it's more a projection than anything else. So I take whatever she says with a grain of salt.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that.
Well said. Well said. Now, let's go to this.
Today is Teachers' Day, and there is no group of people I'd rather speak to. Every single one of us has been shaped by our teachers. Someone who saw something in us, who pushed us, who believed in us, and sometimes even before we believed in ourselves. I know that's true for me, and I suspect it's true for many other Jamaicans as well. Teaching in our country is not an easy path. Our teachers manage overcrowded classrooms, limited resources, and the enormous weight of shaping young minds during years that would define those children for the rest of their lives. They do this with remarkable dedication, and far too often without the recognition or remuneration they deserve. The challenges of recent years, the disruptions to learning, the social pressures our young people are facing, the emotional toll on teachers themselves, all of these have been real and they've been heavy. I want you to know that your efforts have not gone unnoticed. You are nation builders in the truest sense of the word. The classroom is where Jamaica's future is made, and you are the ones who make it.
Far more
So,
befitting.
on behalf of all Jamaicans, thank you. Happy Teachers Day.
Senior citizens and sometimes children.
So I'm going to find an interview with Juliet.
But equally, you're not better than anyone else. And I never thought that I needed to party when I wasn't allowed. I was laughing when I heard I was coming on this program, and I said, "You ever ask me anything about my 9 to 5?" And when I started St. Catherine High School, I thought it was far more befitting a motto for me. Yes, to the poorest in church, and we'll all be together. Times for me, challenging sometimes. So first form, I was the tallest person in the class, and the tallest. But I learned early to just sit quietly and listen and observe them. My parents used to use a lot of parables and a lot of, man want the milk and he can get it free, he won't bother buy it. So for school, I found that children were just far more exposed than one year, because by the time I got into second form, I was at school, I passed and see her like lady. And I knew that I was going to get it for not doing well in second form. And after that, history. Best and the brightest, I focused, because you cannot depend on your parents being driven and to be the best version of yourself. And it helped, because after that, third, fourth, fifth form, when I was probably about 8 or 9 years old, she had 7 cents on her bureau.
See that Jamaica. Hear the thieving story from Juliet Bonus. Out that one more. Listen to this.
In some of the lessons she taught me. When I was probably about 8 or 9 years old, she had 7 cents on her bureau. And one night I was passing and I saw it and I said, "Try like a change." And I took it up. Lord, the money go drop. When it fell, Mommy woke up and said, "Juliet, is that you?" I said, "Yes, Mommy."
So Jamaica, Her mother asleep and she a thief the money. You see, because a little bit of money, her principal at her ear said, no man, a little bit of money that man, we can't take it. Can you imagine if she's operating in the same way as a member of parliament and speaker of the house? Mighty God. Let's continue.
What are you doing? Nothing, mommy. What do you have in your hand? I showed it to her. And she said, where did you get that? I said, oh, quickly, Howie, my cousin. She said, no problem.
Jamaica. She have the skill of lying that she just say, yo, my cousin Howie, her mother was wise enough to say, yeah man, all right, cool.
Sweetheart, go to bed. And I went to sleep. In the morning, when we woke up, I've never forgotten it was a Saturday night. Sunday morning, she said, come, we're going down to Howie. I said, Jesus, me in trouble. And we went. And she said, did you give this money to Juliet? This is me around behind my mother's face. And Howie said, no, auntie, I didn't give it to her. She said, Jules, come. And we walked up nicely. I got a proper scolding. And when I was complaining to mommy that something caught me when she hit me, and mommy said, no problem, let me get something for you, alcohol. And then she tied me onto the gate. And I sat there at the gate and everybody passing to me here, morning, morning. And I couldn't understand the lesson. A friend of hers came and she told my mom, don't do it, this is really too harsh for her. And my mom said, liar and thief walk together for her. And my mom said, liar and thief walk together, harsh for her. And my mom said, liar and thief walk together, harsh for her. And my mom said, liar and thief walk together.
Don't talk Jamaica, we don't need to go no further. Her mother said liar and thief walk together. Juliet Oldness tried to deceive her mother at the age of 8-year-old, taking up money that is not her own, then lying about it as if it is hers and as somebody else give her. Signs of a professional thief, Jamaica. Not my word. So at this, the one I'm talk about, and you have she and her husband as the two powerhouse in Jamaica. And one of them statutory declaration cannot be certified. And you wonder why people don't trust them. I don't know why. You know, God is so good. Isn't he? God is amazing. God make people confess their sin without them even realize it. Yeah, because she's telling us about her character. Selva, never you doing. Big up yourself, my general. God makes she expose herself on live interview. She was so, I want to say thanks to the host. I don't know the lady name. But you have the type of environment that makes Juliet Oldness comfortable enough to tell us a story like that about herself. Liar and thief are one in the same. Listen.
Harsh for her. And my mom said, liar and thief walk together.
Jamaica, how much lie Andrew Oldness tell? Blatant lie. Let me tell you one big one. Andrew Oldness said his government has cut the debt in half. And even if he was talking about the debt to GDP, which he did not say, what he said out of his mouth was debt. What he said out of his mouth was debt. As in debt where you owe, D-E-B-T. Yes. He said they cut the debt in half. Right? Somebody said they last count of the lies. Terry, you say you never tell a lie. That's why I go to Waps and tell him on the most recent one them when I'm telling in our speech. He said that his government has cut the debt to GDP or the debt. He said debt, he never said debt to GDP because I don't know the difference. He mix it up. Ask Rastan Iman if you tell a lie, me I tell. Rastan Iman tell you all the while say him don't know the difference. When him name Nigel Clark are the one who had the brain box over there when it comes to finances. Anyway, and Nigel Clark is no longer there. The man said, them cut the debt in half, Jamaica. Jamaica, that is a lie from the pits of hell. It is easily debunked. And these people want to come to us to vlog them talking about misinformation. Huh? When you can literally they and watch them and say, hold on, Google. Debt cut in half. What was the debt in 2016? What is the debt now? Boom, debt to GDP. Cut in half. What is the debt to GDP 2016? What is the debt now? Simple. And when I look on the time when he said, you know, say a foolishness, not no so. You understand? Yes. So that's when she said it in this interview. It's a 14-minute interview, candid with Juliet Oles. And she said a lot of things. I just went to that particular one to make the point about what to amplify the point of what Mr. Mystic Sensation had pointed out. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna move on. In terms of education, we're gonna move on. All right. Before I add to education, a word from Dr. Kenneth Russell about one of the many fires that are burning in Jamaica. Listen to this.
This is Dr. Kenneth Russell, Member of Parliament for Southeast St. Anne. Like you, I am deeply troubled by the worsening state of our roads. It has become hazardous.
Yes, it has.
It is placing motorists, pedestrians, and entire communities at risk. The conditions our people are forced to endure are downright disrespectful and demeaning.
Mighty God.
Southeast St. Anne has 225 kilometers of NWA managed roads, the most of any constituency in Jamaica.
What?
According to the NWA, 80% of these roads need rehabilitation.
Oh my God.
Yet, there is no sustained program or funding committed to fixing, maintaining, rehabilitating these roads. The SPARK program only covers a small fraction of what we need, and even that is lagging in implementation. 9 priority roads under SPARK will cost $2.3 billion to fix, yet only $315 million has been allocated for 3 roads. Work has begun on just one of these roads. We have already missed six start dates for the Johnny Spring Road in Higgintown. The gap between announcements and performance is the daily pain our people feel. Farmers cannot move goods. Workers face longer, costlier commutes. Travel through Higgintown to St. Anne's Bay Hospital, travel to the Golden Grove Primary are now hazardous treks. I am calling on Minister Morgan to ensure the NWA's immediate adherence to SPARK timelines, faster deployment of funds, emergency repairs to breakaways, and increased budget support and the transparency in how road money is spent. The people of Southeast St. Anne cannot continue to wait while conditions worsen, threatening their lives and livelihoods.
Wow.
Visit our website.
Wow. Another burning issue, ladies and gentlemen. The roads in Jamaica. Another burning issue. Incredible. Just incredible. Anyway, today's teachers. This is one of the speeches for Education Week, and this is one of the educators. And this lady right here is somebody that I love, one of my favorite senators right now, Miss Thame. Understand? Dr. Mazika Thame. Right? Let's listen to this real quick. It's a very short thing.
So let's talk about education, which the Prime Minister in the 1970s implemented. Free education to the tertiary level so that people like our current Prime Minister, who according to him started in a one-room board house, would buy a decent house without turning to scamming.
Mighty God.
And there was also Jamal, in addition to free education, that attended to the adult illiteracy that was very high in the 1970s. And that Jamal program was mobilizing people to work with those who were less educated in order to improve them. That was democratic socialism. But where are we in education today? In his budget presentation last week, the leader of opposition reminded us that, quote, a third of children leave primary school functionally illiterate and illiterate. Less than 20% of students get 5 CSEC subjects, including math and English, and only around 16% of Jamaicans achieve tertiary qualifications. It seems to me, Mr. President, that while we were going in the right direction in the 1970s, we are now on the wrong path. Breaking ground on two STEAM schools as promised by the Prime Minister will not address the gaps which currently exist, especially for those areas hard hit by
I love that woman. Say that again, please, Miss Dr. Mazika. Say it again.
Will not address the gaps which currently exist. Breaking ground on two STEAM schools as promised by the Prime Minister will not address the gaps which currently exist.
My God.
Especially for those areas hard hit by Melissa and still facing high absence rates. STEAM is an approach to education. It doesn't need a special school, Mr. President. In fact, it should be mainstreamed within the education system.
Do you guys agree? Do you guys agree with mainstreaming the STEAM curriculum in the education system as it is? So it can be all across the board. So when the students come out of school, they will be at level 3, level 4 in skill certification. If you agree, type agree. Instead of building a building and an institution to say, yes, this is a STEAM school, and we do STEAM courses here. Why not have the STEAM courses in every single institution? So, that type of the dunceness can be eradicated from Jamaica. And we'll have some productive, top of the line individuals that would work overseas too, but still have even more powerful jobs. Like them, they could help themselves and their family out here. They could stay overseas. They could bring their family overseas. You know what I mean? Just from that job alone. And trust me, there's a lot of brilliant youth in Jamaica. They need the opportunity. They need the educational opportunity. All right? That's all they need. Brilliant. When I say brilliant, sharp, technical. They need to be in the right environment. A lot of our youth are in the wrong environment. You understand? And they're not being exposed to proper these type of education. First, at an early age, I think there needs to be some type of program that tests children to see what is the peak of their interest. That's what I believe. You understand? Mommy, you come on the live a while ago. Huh? You mommy? Mommy, you come on the TikTok live a while ago? Yeah, we can't see my name come up. Bolo conglomerate. Anyway, guys. So yeah, I believe that that is something that I believe that needs to be explored, because in any area at all, when it comes to learning and the brain, a child mind is very impressionable. And whatever it is that you should expose that child's mind to at an early age, trust me, they're going to grab onto it, and they're going to more than likely excel at it, ladies and gentlemen. So we need to have a serious strategy where education is concerned from the very early stages. Why do you think countries like Brazil is so successful at football? It's not just skill enough. They have a culture where football is concerned that it is like the children are born if you should go to Brazil and you see how many people actually have the skills, football skills, and you're like, oh, why is this person not playing football? Because the level is that high. So it take the cream of the crop is has to be at a certain standard to even make it to the top. Because so many people are skilled. Because that love is embedded into the children. They're exposed to it from a very early age. You understand? Same thing with Germany. Germany has a great football federation and how they approach it. You know, they always, it's like they produce talent like a machine would produce whatever a machine produce. The machinery itself is well oiled. Well oiled, ladies and gentlemen. That's why Germany is always so successful in the World Cup. And it's a team that I definitely support from a long time because of that, because I see they have that structure. So we need that structure here in Jamaica, and it's not here under the Jamaica Labour Party. And after 10 years, I don't think we should expect any different. Yes? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I digress. Let's go to did Angela Brownberg say something about education? Oh yeah, she said something about the PATH program that's important.
Has not quite kept up with the ambition. As I speak, I have to say that the pace of implementation of PATH has not quite kept up with the ambition of its framework. We have yet to achieve the truly integrated all-of-government approach that has long been espoused. As a result, many vulnerable Jamaicans continue to fall through the cracks, exposed to economic and social shocks without adequate support. You know, I look at the passage of Hurricane Melissa on October 28th. It represented a critical stress test for the country's social protection architecture. For many Jamaicans, it called into question not only the government's capacity, but also its commitment to inclusive, people-centered development. Regrettably, relief and recovery efforts have not consistently reflected the values of dignity, transparency, resilience, and inclusivity that should underpin such interventions. Many vulnerable citizens have been left disillusioned, with some nearing the point of disengagement from the very systems designed to support them. There is a growing perception among Jamaicans that the benefits of this so-called prosperity have not been equitably distributed and that significant segments of the population remain excluded. It was prosperity for the few.
I'm telling you, man, social protection, man. Let's continue with the path because it is an important topic.
Role in improving school attendance. So I spoke about PATH earlier, and I say that it has played an important role in improving school attendance. And I know that the spokesperson on education might tell me to be careful about the data that is presented to us. Unfortunately, I don't have any other source that to quote it.
Yes.
And so what the data says is that because there is that 85% conditionality, meaning that persons have to be in school for 85% of the time to remain on the program, it means that the attendance of children on PATH is way above the attendance of children who are not on PATH. But here is the problem. The problem is that attendance does not equate to learning outcomes. It doesn't. While secondary education is nominally free, the associated costs continue to present substantial barriers for many families. Many of you as MPs would hear the stories from children and parents about how they are shamed and their names are called, they are sent on the trees, they are treated differently because they cannot pay. Different lines. And in some sense, we understand the need of these schools to collect the fees because that is what they use to actually keep it going and provide services. So what that means is that we have to find a way to ensure that these children and their families are not seen as being different, but that there is some protection to allow them to have that secondary education. The school feeding program is a good program. but it needs to be reimagined to ensure that it is cost effective and yet nutritious. I am not sure if Bolo in 2026 is the most nutritious meal that we could get. I'm not. Yeah? The current allocation for students is simply ridiculous. Just this morning, as I was preparing to come to go on the road for Read Across Jamaica Day, I heard the news that Greater Portmore Primary advised of its painful decision to suspend its school feeding program. You know why? Inadequate funding, lack of funding. Can you imagine what is going to happen to some of those children coming to school without their meals or hiding in a corner so persons don't recognize what it is they've had to take to school to eat for lunch? This can't be the Jamaica that we sit here proudly that we represent and we are building in 2026. Now, something has to change.
Yes.
And so the opposition is calling for a decisive shift towards implementation, which includes integrating diagnostic assessments, remedial support into path conditionalities, strengthening inclusive education system, and providing targeted financial assistance to reduce the burden on vulnerable families. And I say it already, the meals, yeah, we have to look at it differently. We also have the experience of our faith-based organization helping with education. And so we know that community-based governance structures should be strengthened to ensure participatory accountability and local ownership of educational outcomes. We want to see more of that.
So Dr. Angela Brownberg's speech was very extensive, and she really was hitting important points. It's unfortunate that she had to address Juliet Eunice in her speech. It took away from all the other storms of social protection that is lacking under the Jamaica Labour Party government. But what she did was necessary, ladies and gentlemen. You understand? Was necessary. Let me see. Speaks about lived experience, majority who are still reeling off the devastation of Hurricane Melissa. Yes, I know that. Okay. All right. Cool. Big up all the teachers today. Yes. Today is Teachers' Day. I want to say a big shout out to the teachers that I was blessed to be in their classrooms. I hope that if you guys are watching me or you come across this video, I hope that you are proud of what I am doing on this platform, on my platform. You know, I have a lot of respect for a lot of the. I don't remember ever bumping heads with any of my teachers. No, I don't remember that. I don't remember ever facing a teacher like a Juliet Eunice. No, I don't remember that. None of them ever had me give me any reason to pull off a Nanny of the Maroons or a Paul Bogle in the classroom. I never had that experience. So I want to say a big shout out to all of the teachers that impacted my life in any capacity. That was my teacher from primary school, go straight up. If you are deceased, I want to say condolences to your families. And I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. All right? For all that you did for me in school. Yes? I'm going to say big up my mother. I'm going to tell her why. My mother was very integral in me speaking this clearly to you guys. True story. I used to have list tongue. Yeah. That was my impediment of speech. Auntie Tiny, what you doing? Political maestro, big up. I used to have list tongue. Yes. Amazing, right? Yes. I couldn't pronounce my words properly. And my mom taught me how to break down each words. Every syllable. Every syllable. You understand? Nobody's perfect. I'm not the best at literature or English. But yeah. Shout out to my mom. My mom was super important. While she was working, she sat me down and taught me, pushed me to get that right. And here we are. I'm on the international platform of YouTube and TikTok. And of course, I'm speaking to potentially thousands of people. Because they'll watch the replay. So yeah, big shout out to my mother. My mother was one of those teachers. That was integral in that regard. Born again, oh Lord, how you doing? Good afternoon. Guys on YouTube, before I continue to the main segment, I need you guys to hit the like button. Yeah, man. There's a thumbs up button at the top. For those that have not already, please, we need to get to 50 likes on Bolo VNR clips, and we need to get to 60 likes on Bolo VNR 2.0. Okay? Thank you so much, Born Again. I appreciate that. All right, and thank you, my side. We are on pace to get to 50K in the next 20 minutes. Let's roll. Let's roll, ladies and gentlemen. Now, my good people, thank you for being here once again. All right? I don't know, every single thing I have on Facebook, it gone. Them people are not easy, Well, let me play this first. Do you guys remember this?
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit. This is Omar Newell, Opposition spokesperson on environment and climate resilience. Today is a historic day for Jamaica and for every citizen who has ever believed that our Constitution means something. The Constitutional Court has ruled that the environmental permit granted in 2020 to Bengal Development Limited to mine limestone in the ecologically vital dry harbor mountains of St. Anne is unconstitutional, void, and of no effect. I welcome this ruling unreservedly. It affirms what the People's National Party has always maintained, that the people of Jamaica have a constitutional right to a healthy and productive environment, and that right is not negotiable. As far back as 2020, we sounded the alarm. When the then government signaled its intention to push this permit through, the PNP stood up and said, not at this cost. The dry harbor mountains are home to endangered species, critical watersheds, and communities that depend on a clean living environment. We were right then. This court has confirmed it today. This ruling is also historic for another reason. It is the first time that the environmental rights provision within the Jamaica's Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms has been adjudicated by our courts. That is a milestone every Jamaican should be proud of. But this victory must lead to lasting change. Jamaica needs an independent environmental protection agency, one free from political interference, empowered to make decisions based on evidence, not ministerial discretion. Our natural resources deserve nothing less. To the residents of St. Anne who fought and refused to be silenced, this is your victory. And to the government, I say this: respect this ruling and act swiftly to build the environmental governance framework that Jamaica's future demands.
Jamaica, I am here to tell you that they ignored the warning. They ignored the advice. They ignored the advice of Omar Newell. Yes, they did. They sure did. I don't think y'all heard me though. Y'all don't believe me? Let me get the clip. Let me get the clip. Lord have mercy. Let me get the clip. It's unbelievable, man. These people are something else, bro. The man said, respect this ruling by the court. They said, hell no to the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell
Will the government
no.
be appealing the Constitutional Court ruling on Bengal mining permit? And in light of the court's judgment, does the government now believe it should review the role or the authority of ministers to overrule decisions of regulatory bodies?
All right, so let me start with, this is a post-cabinet press briefing and what we discussed in cabinet. We briefly discussed the ruling, And it is my understanding that the Attorney General's chambers, they will be appealing. That's my understanding. In terms of timeline on that, I can find that out and get that back to you. In terms of the implications of it, we've not been able to go through, I know I personally have not gone through the full judgment, and that's not been brought to cabinet for us to look at what are the implications coming from it. But what I do understand is that from my discussions with the Attorney General is that the ruling will be appealed.
To the residents of St. Anne who fought and refused to be silenced, this is your victory. And to the government, I say this: respect this ruling and act swiftly to build the environmental governance framework that Jamaica's future demands.
Jamaica, it did not take a week. It did not take a week for the Andrew Holness-led government to come to a decision that they are going to appeal the ruling by the Constitutional Court. And you know, I'm happy. I am happy. It's one thing I can say about the Jamaica Labour Party. They are consistently wrong. And I'm glad that they continue to be consistently wrong. Because at some point, the people of Jamaica must wake up. The ones that are asleep, you guys have to wake up. You understand what I'm saying? Can you imagine the ruling that Andrew Holness government overturned what the NRCA did and said this company cannot mine in the area, although them own the land, them cannot mine in there. You can't own the land, you know, and oil upon it, you think so you can just go drill upon it, and the government have to do that. So owning the land is not enough. You have to get the permit. That's why these agencies are there. And this is where the wider concern comes in. You know? Look at NARA. What does NARA do for Andrew Holness? Give him the power to overturn such things. Jamaica, we have a problem. I'm telling you, this is going to be. And I believe that they are appealing this ruling because they know it is a shot in the face of NARA and the powers that Andrew Holness would have in NARA. It run concurrent. That is why Mr. Cleveland Tomlinson said in an interview with Colin Bell on the Portland Spice TV, he said, this ruling is God sent because it speaks to how NARA cannot operate the way with the powers that they have passed it with. It is unconstitutional. It goes against the Constitution. NARA has the power to breach the people's constitutional rights on an environmental level, all in the aim of building resilience. NARA can circumvent and oversee and override decisions from an NRCA, from a NEPA. This area that we're talking about, you know, if mind, you know, it's no question, you know. Ask just read and listen to Dean Jackson Miller. I played it already. And if you don't want me to play it now, I can play some parts of it again. Where she broke down the risk involved in mining in the area. And Jamaica, in their lack of wisdom, this wicked government that said them care about Jamaican people don't care enough about the people that live in that area to respect the ruling of the Constitutional Court. They are going to use our tax dollars and go and appeal it. Now wake up, Jamaica. Wake up. Andrew Holness is being honest about the wicked, evil person he is. All you got to do is open your eyes. How can you appeal this? I don't know what's worse. appealing that the old man who in a prison for 50 years should not get the money where the court saying to get. Or this. I don't know what's worse. How is it that this government can always be on the wrong side of protecting the people? And they're supposed to be governing. The law is protecting us. The Constitution is protecting us. And anti-honest government is appealing the protection that the Constitution is giving us. I want you guys to understand what I'm saying. Let me be clear. What they want to talk about and distract us with Mace and Dr. Angela Brownberg touching the Mace. Rubbish. They have more vigor in their body to protect a damn Mace, a colonial symbol, than they are in protecting the citizens of this country. Jamaica, the air, pollution, the water pollution, the animals, the rare animals that is in that area, Samantha, what are you doing? Listen to, I'm going to play Mr. Omar Newell again, warning the government not to appeal this thing and they must respect it. Listen. For those that are just coming in.
To the residents of St. Anne who fought and refused to be silenced, this is your victory. And to the government, I say this. Respect this ruling and act swiftly to build the environmental governance framework that Jamaica's future demands. Visit our website at pnp.org.
So, Mr. Newell warned, and of course, shout out to the journalist that asked this question. You could see that Dean Jackson Miller was visibly uncomfortable in answering that question. Here we go.
Will the government be appealing the Constitutional Court ruling on Bengal mining permit? And in light of the court's judgment, does the government now believe it should review the role or the authority of ministers to overrule decisions of regulatory bodies?
This is an attack. That question, albeit she might not have had the intention, it is a direct attack on NARA. The question within itself. Do you think that you guys need to rethink the ministerial powers to override regulatory bodies and authority? That is the core of NARA. If you should strip that power, the stepping powers from NARA, that would be the nucleus and the foundation. NARA would die a painful death. So that question within itself is a long, hot knife through the heart of NARA. So we can understand why, what's her name? Dora the Explorer was visibly uncomfortable answering this question. Listen.
All right, so let me start with, this is a post-cabinet press briefing and what we discussed in cabinet. We briefly discussed.
This is a post-cabinet briefing. She's telling her, why are you asking me this question? But I'll have to answer it none the same because I cannot avoid it. It's too hot. And if she lies about it, mighty God. So she had to be honest.
The ruling, and it is my understanding that the Attorney General's chambers, they will be appealing. That's my understanding. In terms of timeline on that, I can find that out and get that back to you. In terms of the implications of it, we've not been able to go through, I know I personally have not gone through the full judgment and that.
So a 94-page ruling, and according to her, she and potentially others have not gone through the fullness of the 94-page ruling. But you guys are appealing it? Wow. You already decided we are going to appeal it. What could motivate the government to ignore the Constitutional Court in such a serious, detailed ruling as to why you guys will not get the permit. I am happy you guys are appealing again. Don't get me wrong. I am not upset. I believe God is exposing each and every one of you. And this is just a process of that exposure. And I'm here to highlight it and shine one big bright light. So in case some people did miss this, here it is. Very important conversation. The question is, what would motivate the Jamaica Labour Party to appeal this? Is there any connection between Andrew owners and the owners of that property, or any member of the Jamaica Labour Party or their families? Who owns this property? Do they have any connection to Andrew Owen? I am asking questions, out of curiosity. I don't have any evidence of saying, but I find it very suspicious, ladies and gentlemen. I find this to be unacceptable, that the government would appeal this actual ruling. Very unacceptable. Is there anything that Andrew Owners is benefiting, or anybody else in the government is benefiting from that piece of property and any potential mining happening there? Are they personally benefiting from anything? I am asking, ladies and gentlemen. I am trying to make sense of why a governing body what is the purpose of a governing body? Isn't it to uphold the Constitution and the laws of the land and to protect the citizens with it? Use the law to protect the citizens of the country like a guardian. Isn't that a part of their mandate? So why would the government choose to be on the wrong side of history? The SOEs, wrong side of history. The NIDS, wrong side of history. NARA, wrong side of history. And now, to add on to that, appealing this constitutional court ruling. Do I believe that they're going to be successful? No. Jamaica is the intent that I'm questioning. What motivated them to say that we must do this? You guys have to really watch these people's behavior. It's not all the time we can come on here and just lay it out for you. I have my own suspicions. I'll be watching this very closely. Very, very closely. You understand? Because your environment being jeopardized mean you're risking the life. We don't have any hospital. We don't have any health care. Figure have massive amount of persons being affected by mining from there. So we don't have no healthcare system that is running well for us to have added persons sick and going to the hospital because of breathing problems, because pollute the air down there, pollute the water. That's what the Constitutional Court says, that it would indeed do this. So they are not going to allow it to even happen. How does the government sit down with any good conscience where their mandate is? They don't care about the people. Jamaica have come to the conclusion they don't give a damn about us. These people will sacrifice us on the altar of money. They don't give a damn. There's no argument that anybody can present to me that can let me believe that these people give a damn about the people in Jamaica. Why Andrew Owners don't move him house and put it right where them a drill. So all of the effects them and affect him and his family first. Put one dome over here and put your house there and breathe the polluted air and drink the polluted water. Yeah, man. Since as I want to give this permit so much for mine in that area, go ahead. And my reasoning is coming straight off the experts. The experts, not Andrew. Andrew is no expert. The NRCA individuals are the experts. And they gave a detailed reason why they will not issue this permit. And even when Andrew Onis overturned the permit, Jamaica Leslie Campbell was the one that pulled the trigger to overturn the permit. You know? And Andrew Onis signed off on it. You know? I learned that from Dean Jackson Miller. And here we are. They are appealing. J. Brand, did you know this? You're supposed to know. They are appealing the court's decision. Mighty God of Daniel, Jamaica. What? You can't find a wicked government now this now? The good people them in a discovery base sentence. Wanna rise up and show the disdain, protect the environment, the fact that the government would even try and attempt to appeal this court ruling. You guys should rise up on that regard alone. Do not be quiet. I cannot be the lone voice in the wilderness to speak about this. The people have to rise up. The PMP has made it clear what their position is. Let me play it again, what Mr. Omar Newell said. Listen to this. Listen to this as a shadow spokesperson on the environment.
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
This is Omar Newell, opposition spokesperson on environment and climate resilience. Today is a historic day for Jamaica and for every citizen who has ever believed that our constitution means something. The Constitutional Court has ruled that the environmental permit granted in 2020 to Bengal Development Limited to mine limestone in the ecologically vital dry harbor mountains of St. Anne is unconstitutional, void, and of no effect. I welcome this ruling unreservedly. It affirms what the People's National Party has always maintained, that the people of Jamaica have a constitutional right to a healthy and productive environment, and that right is not negotiable. As far back as 2020, we sounded the alarm. When the then government signaled its intention to push this permit through, the PNP stood up and said, not at this cost. The dry harbor mountains are home to endangered species, critical watersheds, and communities that depend on a clean living environment. We were right then. This court has confirmed it today. This ruling is also historic for another reason. It is the first time that the environmental rights provision within the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms has been adjudicated by our courts. For another reason, it is the first time that the environmental rights provision within the Jamaica's Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms has been adjudicated by our courts. That is a milestone every Jamaican should be proud of. But this victory must lead to lasting change. Jamaica needs an independent environmental protection agency, one free from political interference, empowered to make decisions based on evidence, not ministerial discretion. Our natural resources deserve nothing less. To the residents of St. Anne who fought and refused to be silenced, this is your victory. And to the government, I say this: respect this ruling and act swiftly to build the environmental governance framework that Jamaica's future demands.
Respect this ruling. Respect this ruling. That was the advice of Omar Newell. You know, it amazes me how the Jamaica Labour Party can come to a new low every day. It's like they break the disgrace of the administration comes to a new low every day. Them just broke the record, Jamaica. Them just broke the record. And persons that are a part of the organization, they stay quiet. Where are the representatives of the Jamaica Labour Party in that area of Discovery Bay? Where are they? You guys are going to remain quiet? Probably you guys don't even live there. So if the water supply is polluted because of this, this attempt of the Jamaica Labour Party to appeal this ruling, the air supply is polluted. Your kids don't live there. Your parents, your grandparents, your uncle, your aunts, they don't live there. So you don't care. And even if something happens, you have the money to probably move, all right? I want to say a big shout out to Wendy Lee. The white lady, and she really pushed this thing to the courts. And they won. Andrew Jones hates when the Jamaican people win. But they ran a campaign on Choose Jamaica. Isn't that ironic? Isn't that contradictory? Isn't that hypocritical? When the people of Jamaica win, it upsets Andrew Owens and his government. And they have to act swiftly. Lavish, how you doing, my baby? They have to act swiftly, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, don't celebrate yet. We're going to appeal it. Wow. Wow. And people will say that this is political football. You're joking, man. This is bigger than politics, man. This has to do with how these individuals govern the country. This has nothing to do, this is bigger than politics. If the PMP did this, I would have the same vitriol. I would have the same vitriol I have right now. Don't give a damn who is in power and doing this. The fact that they're doing it is wrong. They are supposed to be protecting us, the citizens. And the citizens stood up for themselves. And the law said they are right. And the government of Jamaica. I don't know what this company or who own this company, or if them have any relationship with anybody in the government. I don't know if this is another market me situation. I don't know. But I find it very strange. They have to know how the optics of this look. Because I'm telling you, when Dana Morris Dixon was speaking, you could see it all over her face. She was almost sorry that that lady, Sister Brooksy, thank you for the follow. They were almost, she looked sorry in her face that that lady had the reporter had the foresight to ask such an important question. She was a little bit shook, Jamaica. But in quick thinking, what could she have done? Lied? She had to tell the truth. It was already out there in the atmosphere. Because that is something that will be on people's minds, Because the conversation, you see, I want to thank each and every one of you in the comment section. I want to thank those of you on TikTok. That not necessarily on my platform, but you guys are out there advancing the conversation on a daily and a nightly basis, these important conversations. Not coming online and spread propaganda and I tell lie on the PMP and all of them. So they are tell lie on Andrew. You don't support nobody at tell lie on them. You are coming on here and you're looking at the fact. Patsy, big up. Momo, big up. Thank you, my darling. You're coming on here and you're advancing the conversation surrounding this important topic. Because Jamaica, you know, I will continue to say this. We cannot be selfish. Not because it's not happening where you are. And if it's happening in Jamaica, if it's happening around the world. But we are sticking closer to home now, to our more immediate environment. If it's happening here, it should concern you. Anywhere in Jamaica it's happening, it should concern you. Anywhere in Jamaica where the police is unaliving innocent people, it should concern you. It could be you, it could be your family next, it could be your daughter, your son, your uncle, your auntie, your nephew, your niece. It could be you. It should concern you. So this ruling exposes the NARA bill, and constitutionally, which we already knew through Isaac Buchanan, at our press big up, we already knew through Isaac Buchanan that this NARA bill can't go stand in it have to go court. It have to go court, Jamaica. This ruling proves that the Constitution is not with the NARA bill. Can you imagine something similar happens to the one of the project that Andrew supposed to do in the NARA bill where have planned? And it just so happens that it would be an environmental hazard for persons that live in and around the area. He could overturn the NRCA. Respect at our press. Remember, say, you are the queen, you know. You understand? And are you with eyes to enough things, you know, from the beginning, you know. You understand? And expose it to the wider audience of your platform. So, yeah, coming from you, I tell you, that is an honor. You understand what I deal with? But may I tell you, imagine this NARA bill and the powers, the stepping powers that we Andrew have. The man can literally go to Babs and do the same thing with NARA when he do with the NRCA with this mining thing here. Jamaica problem that is a huge problem. So we can't just stay sitting down and as a collective, and I'm not talking about the vloggers, because the vloggers them been a chant and been a beat the drum. I'm talking about you, the regular people of Jamaica. You can't sit down, Jamaica. Discovery be the area where the people them live in. You need to rise up and make your voices be heard internationally. Do the video them on TikTok and on Instagram and tag CNN, tag CB, tag the whole of them. Me always say at 5%. Tag the big news agents them in Europe and everywhere. You see, when it comes down to environmental issue, what you guys don't know, you know, those things are very serious in the bigger countries, you know, first world countries, you know. A government doesn't want to even be perceived as if they are polluting, they are destroying the environment in that capacity. What do I mean? The NRCA in the ruling, ladies and gentlemen, why they did not give them the permit? They said it would destroy the air quality when we breathe and the water. The two most important things them for your healthy life would be jeopardized by mining in that area in Discovery Bay. And also the species, them, the animal. Let me tell you something. You see, first world country, the people they love animal. They will protect the animal them with their life. So this is a very serious topic. And then you have a government that wants to appeal the constitutional court ruling to literally give these people the permit to go violate the environment and violate the people's health, jeopardize the people's health. And we don't have a healthcare, we don't have healthcare facilities that is competent enough to deal with regular sick people, much less added to the sick. Listen, this country should be focused on, and this government should be focused on promoting every educational tool they can to have people prevent themselves from actually having to go to the hospital by any means necessary. Eat right, exercise, drive on the road like a snail and look where you go. Whatever would put you in the hospital, in any circumstance, avoid it, because the hospital them cannot manage. They are in no state barrier. Them can't manage Jamaica. So why will you put further strain on an already dilapidated healthcare system by mining in an area? Listen, the ruling said by the NRCA that it would cause irreparable damage. It couldn't be repaired, Jamaica. Once they mine in the area and the area is destroyed, it's done. The water source done, the animal then done, the people them living in the area, air quality done, Jamaica. And the government. You see how long me I spend on this? I want it to be surgical. Me now move off it because you see, if your head tough, me want to see through your head like an osmosis with the information. If you want tough head, the rock stone labor right. We are talking about party, and now she say, yo, your party is not doing right by the people of Jamaica. Me I go repeat it in every single angle. So if you never get it in this universe, yeah, in some other multiverse, your consciousness must pick it up and understand what me I say. It's facts and it's true. And you should be on the right side of history in condemning the Jamaica Labour Party for even attempting to appeal or even thinking about appealing this ruling. They don't love the people. Them hate the people. And some of the labor them I learn. Some of the labor them I learn, you know. I mean, I go to a clip to make you realize that some of the labor them I wake up say this government don't love the Jamaican people. Them. A long time I played that clip at Jamaica. Make we go back to this legendary clip. Let us go back to this legendary clip. All right? Where is it? Oh, yeah, see it there. Yeah, here it is. No, say advertisement when I come up enough. Once you click on the video, then the first thing I come up for advertisement. Oh my God, another one? Wow. Okay.
Me tell you, I don't think we hear nothing yet. Me sound no more land.
So that I try to show you, so Mr. Andrew, sir. I tell you something, sir. Well, you don't understand. Because you can relate to where we are going through right now. I mean, I ask if you could ever relate to nothing at all where we are going through. Because right now, if I check your makeup, you don't have a scar on there. Andrew, you look like a man who never dropped from him man. You don't look like you ever run a race in your life and drop up yet. Mr. Andrew, sir, last time now me I come to you, Mr. Prime Minister, sir. There is a constant reminder here in Westmoreland. It's a constant reminder, sir. Everywhere you go, it's blue tarpaulin, sir. Everywhere you go, it's roofless houses and blue tarpaulin. And let me tell you something, Mr. Andrew Holiness. We can't ever, in my sense, comprehend why the government of Jamaica hate the people them so. You understand? We don't know why the government of Jamaica hate the people them so. What we do you in our life, every time your election come, people vote for you. And all you do, Mr. Holiness, is this your shit. You know, some of the hope, you know, myself say, sir, you would have did prove me wrong. I was hoping that you would have proved me wrong, you know, sir. People always have a bunch of story talk. A politician, I may always want my own experience because people experience and my experience is two different experiences of holiness. And I was hoping that you
wrong. You come away small and you shake me and you promise me say everything is alright. If I'm doing it, everything is alright, you know, sir. Everything is not okay, sir. You understand? I don't know why the government of Jamaica hate the people them so. You understand? Me don't know why the government of Jamaica hate the people them so. You understand? Me don't know why the government of Jamaica hate the people them so. You understand? Me don't know why the government of Jamaica hate the people them so. You understand? Me don't know why the government of Jamaica hate the people them so. You understand? Me don't know why the government of Jamaica hate the people them so.
That is movie star, ladies and gentlemen. Rockstone labor right. So if movie star can come to the conclusion and say Andrew Owen's government hate, H-A-T-E, hate the people in Jamaica. What you want me to say? Eh? What you want me to say? That's a Rockstone labor right, you know? So when I look on this thing, I'm just Shaka Fame a while ago. When I look Shaka Fame, I don't know if you hear. But the government is planning to appeal the ruling of the Constitutional Court for the mining down a Bengal, down a Discovery Bay. You understand? And you hear it from the horse's mouth. The Rockstone labor right, them come out and say, them don't know why the government of Jamaica hate the people themselves. You have to hate the people, bro. A constitutional ruling like that, you have to hate the people to appeal it. The ruling was correct. The permit should have never been given in the first place. And now we see Andrew Onis wrong and strong now. And go and deciding, yeah man, you know what say, we are going to do it, we are going to appeal this thing, you know. Yeah. When I heard this news, this is why I came live. Honestly, I didn't plan this live. This is the reason why I'm here, Jamaica. This is the reason why I'm here. It's unbelievable that these people really thought it was prudent to do this. Listen, for those that are just coming in, I'm not saying someone never hear. Listen to this.
Will the government be appealing the Constitutional Court ruling on Bengal mining permit? And in light of the court's judgment, does the government now believe it should review the role or the authority of ministers to overrule decisions of regulatory bodies?
All right, so let me start with, this is a post-cabinet press briefing and what we discussed in cabinet. We briefly discussed the ruling, and it is my understanding that the Attorney General's chambers, they will be appealing. That's my understanding.
So after briefly discussing the ruling, they will be. To show you that they don't give a damn about protecting the citizens of Jamaica. They don't care. Money, 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 money. Money. Them doing business, Jamaica.
In terms of timeline on that, I can find that out and get that back to you. In terms of the implications of it, we've not been able to go through, I know I personally have not gone through the full judgment, and that's not been brought to cabinet for us to look at what are the implications coming from it. But what I do understand is that from my discussions with the Attorney General is that the ruling will be appealed.
Will the government be appealing the...
You know, it's always cowards that hide behind having no picture that come and try to put people down and think they know anything about people. It's always those cancers of the community that always come in the comment section when the truth is being told about their 1 p.m. As a matter of fact, it might be the 1 p.m. that is behind the profile. You never know. It's always them. These bots they have on TikTok. I heard Andre Stevens talking about it the other night. About the you know, the attacks on our pages and stuff like that, and the bugging of our phones, and you know, if you put Andrew Owen's name in the title or if your same name out loud, I wonder if that's why my channel has been getting attacked for the last few months. I would have to agree with Andrea on that one. Nero, how you doing? Just checking in, good to see you. I would have to agree on Andrea on that one. It appears to be that that is the actual case, ladies and gentlemen. But, you know, it's all a part of it. These people use their money, you know. They have a lot of systems and machinery behind them. And of course, David slew Goliath. That's all I will say. Yeah, David slew Goliath, man. If you read the Bible, you know, God does not exalt leaders that oppress the poor. Trust me. Action, heavenly action is already on its way, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Don't be fooled. Do not be fooled. All right?
You understand? We don't know why the government of Jamaica hate the people them so. What we do you in a life, every time your election come, people vote for you. And all you do, Mr. Holiness, is dish your shit. You know, some of them hope, you know, myself say, sir, you would have did prove me wrong. I was hoping that you would have proved me wrong, you know, sir. People always have a bunch of story talk. A politician, I mean, always want my own experience because people experience and my experience is two different experiences, Mr. Holiness. And I was hoping that you would have proved me wrong. You come a Westmoreland and you shake me hand, you promise me everything will be alright. Mr. Andrew Holiness, everything is alright, you know, sir. Everything is not okay.
Jamaica, after 7 months, everything's still not alright, yeah?
Okay, sir. You understand? There's a constant reminder of the disaster everywhere you go. It's like I started there 2 weeks ago, it's time passed because it's fresh still. No, we're not clean up, nobody.
Jamaica, you know why this audio is powerful? Not because she's saying something that we didn't already know. It's because it's coming from a Rockstone labor, right? Yes. Unknownly, bro, you're doing. That's why the audio is powerful enough. It's coming from a Rockstone labor, right? Can you imagine a Rockstone labor right saying, "Why I don't know why you hate the Jamaican people themselves, you know? Not just she not talk for herself, you know. She's seeing what is happening with the people around her. And she's saying, what a man wicked. What a man wicked. Oh, Andrew is so wicked. A Rockstone labor come to the conclusion saying wicked. So anytime you only hear me saying wicked, you don't know nothing to me. Because we've been known saying wicked based off our actions and non-actions as a prime minister. That would be in terms of decisions he made that would benefit the people of Jamaica or protect them. In this case, we're talking about protection of the people's constitutional right to good, healthy environment, and they want to appeal the decision of the Constitutional Court. Come on now, stop it.
Mr. Holiness, and I'm trying to make you look bad enough, sir. You self-destruct. Let me tell you something, sir. Mr. People come from overseas for do more than what you do since this time.
Andre Stevens do more than what you do since this time.
You see your company media say you don't want to see people them a line up and a beg and a haul and pull for food, Mr. Andrew. I mean, Mr. Andrew's Holiness, sir, I don't see you do nothing better. Everything that you comes with, everything that you come with chaos and it come with complication.
Mighty God. Everything where you come with chaos and come with complication. Where's the lie, Jamaica? Where's the lie? You know, more big up Mr. Wayne Lonesome. For the past few live streams, he has been pointing out how the 4 in 5, where him and 5 in 4, where him Nigel Clark and Lee Chin and the other one, where him name Mr. Stewart, man from Sandals. And 4 of them did be a part of that, or 3 of them. I don't remember, but them have up the 4 in 5 like so. On the picture. Ready? Yes, the economy and we're gonna build and everything. I'm gonna go listen back in speech. I go listen to Mr. Wayne Lonesome break it down. But the Nara is a revamp, you know, of that failure, you know. It's like every single thing I promise and he fail, him just do a look up, him just repackage it and can resell it to you. So Andrew Honest has run out of tricks. This is Andrew Honest final trick, you know. Nah, final trick, you know. Him going down, man. In the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, I'm going down. Don't believe me, just watch. I've got on time, you know. We can't steal it.
Sir, everything where you come with no make no sense.
No sense.
I need the people them where clean the office. We need them to retire and give some new people space and time to clean the office and put some courage on the seat.
Yes.
So no not sit so comfortable.
Yes.
Because I feel like when I sit too comfortable now, every time when I go around that big table there, and I sit down on that chair there, when I make some stupid decision. It's a holiness. We can't love who no love we, sir.
Yes.
You understand? And respect go where respect come from, sir. You cannot constantly.
Mama, you need to tell him wife that towards the speaker house. Respect goes where respect come from.
Yeah, that shit in our face. We can't love who no love we, sir.
Yes.
You understand? And respect go where respect come from, sir. You cannot constantly have that shit in our face and expect say.
You hear that, Juliet Honest? Coming from a Rockstone labor, right? They can't constantly have that shit in a people's face and expect them to respect you. You remember good, you're gonna get rebellion. So you fix up your folly ways. Let's continue.
We are gonna take it. You understand? I am one of those, sir, who was waiting patiently and now put no dot on your name.
Yeah.
Right now I bury you, want me bury your name,
Mighty
sir.
God.
Because you give me all the dirt I need to pour on you, sir. You made a promise.
Yes.
You understand? Not only to me, but the Jamaican people, them.
Not only to she, but the Jamaican people, them. Talk up, sister.
And until now, Mr. Holiness.
Yes.
Until now, sir, we sick and tired.
Yes.
We're not going to stay quiet no more, Mr. Holiness.
So the labor right there, when I stay quiet and them have to ball out. This was a month ago, ladies and gentlemen, on the Jerry Bryan show. Make sure you go subscribe to Jerry Bryan on TikTok and on YouTube as well. Same name. You understand?
Sir, we not stay quiet no more, sir. Me a law-abiding citizen of Jamaica, me work hard. And the people them over foreign send money come for your help where you not help with, sir. So me not ask me, I tell you, you don't know nothing about hard life.
Me tell you, I don't think you hear nothing yet. Me say you better tap up that screen and share. You don't think at this time, me tell you, if Westmoreland and Galang, so you can imagine when me stir up in a Central Kingston. No, let me ask you something. We never tell you this class I got nice this morning. I want to take over your farm. Is all that over here? Good morning, PDTV News. Good morning, Audrey Steve.
Yo, me say. No, when it comes out to the media work, I tell you, say, yo, the man know how to deliver, yeah, man. Tell you, Bridget, the man know how to deliver. Honestly. You understand? Yeah, man, it's dangerous like that, man. It's not clear. No. Yes, I want to touch on this. Let's listen to some of this, ladies and gentlemen. From Dean Jackson, in regards to the same thing.
So I have three things to say up front, right? One, it raises serious concerns about the decisions that were made in this case. Two, it exposes what environmentalists have saying for years, that political interference in the decision-making in relation to environmental protection is problematic. And three, it raises serious concerns about the powers under the NARA bill. That's a law that the government wants to pass to set up this hugely powerful entity that is going to lead on the post-Hurricane Melissa reconstruction work. The bill gives huge powers to the CEO as well as to the line minister who is going to be the prime minister. This ruling, though, is showing us in real time the dangers that can come from giving politicians sweeping powers to ride roughshod over technical experts and regulators in environmental matters. Speaking of the environment, remember that's one of my areas of expertise, all right? I studied ecology. I'm also a lawyer, anything to do with the environment, anything to do with law, but really anything, because I'm versatile like that. And so is my colleague and friend, Archibald Gordon. He also moderates, he hosts, he does public relations. He's back to the video. So in short, here's what happened. A company called Bengal applied for an environmental permit for a mining and quarrying project on their property, what's being called the Bengal lands in the Dry Harbor Mountain area of St. Anne. Now, the forestry department say, we don't agree with this because it's going to cause irreversible damage to the forests in the area. The regulator is a natural resource.
Hey, so, Mrs. Williams, welcome. Big up yourself.
This Conservation Authority, the NRCA, and they said, hell no, we don't agree with this. Obviously, my words, not theirs. They refused to grant the environmental permit because they said it would cause damage to the environment in the area, also to the health of residents. Now that
Mr. Unknown Libra, you should have seen me. Did you watch my live stream on Bolo VNR 2.0? When I was reacting to when she was speaking, oh my God, bro. I'm telling you. Yesterday was one of my highlight days on YouTube. Not because I had a 2,000, 3,000 people on the live. That would have been a highlight. But because Dr. Angela Brownberg was speaking to the essence and the core of democracy and good governance. You understand? She was hitting every point, irrefutable. Yeah, listen, no matter what you hear the JLP them talking about, the ocean wides and them they are cap and I tell lion and make idiot argument. You see the truth? They know. I don't know how them sleep at night, you know. But they know within their heart of hearts, ladies and gentlemen. If they have a soul or a conscience, they know that Dr. Angela Brownberg is on the right where this one is concerned. They know. They know. Trust me, they know.
That includes impacting groundwater and the air quality, just in case, because they said it would cause damage to the environment in the area, also to the health of residents. Now, that includes impacting groundwater and the air quality, just in case you're going to tell me you have business with bush and birds. Now, this happens all the time. Our laws give veto powers to ministers, and they do overrule the decisions of technical experts. This time, though, citizens in the community, what the court called a collective of concerned residents, said, hell no. Now, they went to the public defender for help, and from what I hear, this could not have happened without former public defender Arlene Harrison Henry. So big her all the way up.
Big up Mrs. Arlene Harrison Henry. Yeah, man. And that reminds me, I'm going to go to that article.
Oh, the Office of the Public Defender is set up to protect our constitutional rights. No, they can't go court themselves, but they can hire lawyers, what we call external counsel. And in this case, they hired constitutional expert and former Solicitor General Michael Hilton, who went back for the citizens. I spoke to one of the citizens who had gone to court, Wendy Lee.
So we actually we appeal to the Office of the Public Defender. That is without the support from the Office of the Public Defender to cover the legal costs. This would not have happened because they are totally prohibited the costs. So I cannot understate the importance of that and the encouragement, but once we got linked up with our legal team of Michael Hilton and his team, we worked things out together. But as I was saying before, we had a long history of trying to protect this area. And in fact, North Jamaica Conservation Association, which I used to be the executive director of, we had conducted a study jointly with the Forestry Department of an FAO of the area and had facts and data on its incredible biodiversity and geology and history of being used as a living laboratory. We had the facts that clearly showed why the area should be protected.
Jamaica, I'm telling you, the people are on the right side of the law where this is concerned. But it shows the desperation of the Jamaica Labour Party and Andrew Willis in particular, because he's the one that would have to sanction them suing. Are appealing, my apologies, appealing the ruling. Yeah, man. Shows how desperate they are to mine in that area. Wonder why? I wonder why.
I am very, very happy.
You know, I just thought about something. Could it be that Andrew only made promises and assurances? Could it be that Andrew always made promises and assurances? I know he's backed up in a corner and have to fulfill them. Could it be? It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. It's going to be very interesting.
I think that it was the right decision. We've literally been fighting this battle. I have for nearly 26 years from the first time a quarry was established on that land that was supposed to be protected. You know, and so we watch as the regulatory agencies keep on entertaining these ideas, these applications for projects that are clearly, you know, in conflict with the development order, with environmental conservation. And this is finally under the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom.
Jamaica, Leslie Campbell is no longer with us now. He was the first person. He was the first person to push the overruling, and then Andrew signed off on it. He works within his office as the Prime Minister. And Leslie Campbell has passed away. I'm not even blame him. I'm just saying he's no longer here with us. I find that odd. That the timing of it all, you know?
We're seeing a judgment that reflects, you know, the need to conserve our environment.
Now, look, let's get something clear. The ministry that was involved here is the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, as it was called at the time. The minister is the Prime Minister. Now, the appeal in this case was held by a minister without portfolio in that ministry, Leslie Campbell. The PM didn't hear the appeal himself, but he is, as I said, the portfolio minister, and he issued a statement to say he was allowing the appeal. Now, all of this centers on a constitutional right that a lot of people probably don't even know we have. It's a right to enjoy a healthy and productive environment, free from the threat of injury or damage from environmental abuse and degradation of the ecological heritage. Now, that was put into the Charter of Rights, and that was put into Jamaica's constitution, passed as law in 2011, that's 15 years ago. And this was a new constitutional right that we had not had before. Remember, though, rights are not absolute, right? Government, under certain circumstances, can infringe on our rights, what the Constitution calls abrogate, abridge, or infringe. But only if it's, again, to use the words in the Constitution, demonstrably justified. In other words, they better have a very good reason. The big question here that you're going to hear me ask again and again and again is why would the government ignore its technical experts and regulator who insisted that this development was not a good idea, that it would irreversibly harm the environment, that it could also damage the health of community members? Why would the expert technical recommendations be ignored? Another thing you need to know is that this wasn't an ordinary piece of land, right? In 2000, an area of land between Rehoboam and Trelawney and Discovery Bay and St. Anne in
Jamaica, what a question. Why would the government ignore the technical experts and regulators who insisted that the development would irreversibly hurt the environment and could also damage the health of the community members? Well, you have to add another question to that now, Dean Jackson Miller. It's going to be interesting to hear your response video to this new information put out there that they will be appealing the court's decision. We'd have to know, why would the government ignore the court's ruling in regards to the irreversible hurt the environment would face and also the damage to the health of the community members? So now you have them double. This is a double rebellion, you know, of the Jamaica Labour Party government, of the protection of that area. They are rebelling against the protection of that area. Jermaine D, what you say? Because agreed, you might be right. You might be right, you know, Jermaine. But I want to go to this article real quick. This is the lady, the former public defender, Mrs. Arlene Harrison. Yeah, man. Let us look what she said in the article about the ruling.
May 2nd, 2026, by Tanisha Mundell / staff reporter. Former public defender hails Bengal mining ruling. Updated May 2nd, 2026 2-minute read. Former public defender Arlene Harrison has welcomed Wednesday's landmark constitutional are interpreted and enforced. I think defender, noting that it is their Former public defender Arlene Harrison has welcomed Wednesday's landmark constitutional court ruling on the controversial Bengal mining permit, describing it as a pivotal moment in the protection of Jamaicans' environmental rights. Speaking in the aftermath of the decision, Harrison said the judgment signals a significant shift in how constitutional protections are interpreted and enforced. I think today is a particularly important day for Jamaica and other jurisdictions because the court, for the first time so far as I know, has made a ruling in relation to aspects of our environmental rights and the protection of those rights by our Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms, she said. Harrison emphasized that the ruling should serve as a reminder of the role of the Office of the Public Defender, noting that it is there to assist citizens who believe their environmental rights are under threat. The Office of the Public Defender is an office that serves the public and has resources to assist where persons are of the view that an environmental right has been breached or is likely to be breached, she said, pointing to issues such as beach access and policy decisions affecting communities. Harrison, an attorney at law, stressed that Jamaicans no longer need to wait until environmental harm occurs before seeking legal protection. What is important about this case is that the damage is not yet done. We don't have to wait for the bulldozers to come along. We can seek protection, Harrison noted, referencing constitutional provisions that guard against the likelihood of harm. The former public defender also urged greater use of state institutions established to safeguard citizens' rights. We have long moved out of a jurisdiction where only rights between citizens and police are looked at. We have widened that to include matters such as environmental rights, she said. The Office of the Public Defender is a central point that you should start from. Harrison further added that other agencies, including the Ministry of Labor and the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, also play key roles in protecting various rights. Harrison's comments follow a ruling by the Constitutional Court that struck down an environmental permit granted in 2020 to Bengal Development Limited for mining in the ecologically sensitive Dry Harbor Mountains in St. Anne. In its judgment, the court declared the permit null and void and issued an injunction preventing the company from carrying out quarrying or related activities under the license. Justice Sonia Wintblair, who presided over the 3-member panel, underscored that constitutional protections extend to potential harm. Nothing harmful has yet taken place, but the decision opened the door for it to happen, she said, adding that the Constitution protects against both likely and actual environmental damage. The court found that the decision to grant the permit posed a significant risk to the fragile ecosystem, despite projected economic benefits. The ruling came in response to a constitutional claim brought by 6 residents who argued that the development threatened their right to a healthy and productive environment. They challenged the actions of the Attorney General, the Natural Resources Conservation Authority, NRCA, and Bengal Development Limited, asserting that the permit infringed on their constitutional rights. The dispute originated in May 2020, when the NRCA rejected the company's application on environmental and public health grounds. That decision was later overturned by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, who granted the permit with conditions. Wednesday's judgment now halts the proposed 20-year project and reinforces the constitutional safeguard of environmental rights in Jamaica. Harrison said the outcome should empower citizens to take action when their rights are at risk. These are rights guaranteed to us by the Constitution, and we need to engage to protect them, she said.
Yeah. So that is the lady that Mrs. Harrison. She was integral in helping the citizens to protect them from potential harm by the decision of Andrew Williams. All right. I'm gonna leave it there, guys. I don't know. I feel like I could have taken one nap. You know them, man? I feel like I could take a nap. Because I didn't sleep enough last night. I just want to say that this is too important for us to let it be something that there's so many different issues that we as Jamaican people could really take to the streets every day and protest about. Simple basic road conditions, you know what I mean? No water in your pipes. That is something for persons to get up every day and protest about. You understand? And if it was some places, trust me, the response from the people collectively would not be kind. Would not be kind. And I'm talking about places where the military is far more advanced and far more equipped than this one. And the people, when the people stand up together, it's unstoppable. Stand up for each other, Jamaica. Stand up for each other. Yeah, man, you guys must do that. It's very important that you do. It is very dangerous, you know, Sassy. Because listen, if, say for instance, Andrew go take this to court and the court somehow overturns their judgment, what does that mean for the rest of Jamaica and this Nara bill? What does that mean for other areas that should be protected? This is a hill that if you're not standing on it, then you're an enemy. You understand? You're an enemy of the state. And then you have a die-hearted, confused person right here talking about PMP time. Nothing was done. We're talking about what they are doing. We're talking about a specific case. And that's your best argument to come within the chat. You should be ashamed of yourself. Your parents got to be ashamed of you if they are alive. God rest their soul if they are not. But if I was a parent and saw you in the comment section writing that nonsense, I would feel some type of way. Winifred, how you doing? Yes. Yes. My mother is one of my biggest critics, you know. Bolo don't do this, Bolo don't do that. And I welcome it. If you know me, I deal with, hey, what's up? What's up, sweetheart? I welcome it. G Skull Records, thanks, sweet father. My mother is one of my biggest critic. Diane, how you doing? You alright? So Diane, I don't know if you're late, you know, but you know the constitutional ruling by the Constitutional Court, and for those that are just coming in, like 6 days ago, they deemed it unconstitutional for them to mine down by Discovery Bay. Yes, Andrew is definitely a weapon formed against the people of Jamaica. Him and his wife, Juliet Willis, and the rest of the team. Chantel, how you doing, sweetheart? So the court said it's unconstitutional, even though Andrew Willis had overturned the NRCA's ruling to not give the company a permit to mine. Andrew say, yeah, man, give them the permit for mine. Now the court said, nope, cease all of that. That will not happen. No, you guys are going to violate these people's constitutional rights if you mine in that area. The right to protect their health, living in a healthy environment, clean air, clean water. And then Andrew Honest and his government said, They said this.
Constitutional Court ruling on Bengal mining permit. Will the government be appealing the Constitutional Court ruling on Bengal mining permit? And in light of the court's judgment, does the government now believe it should review the role or the authority of ministers to overrule decisions of regulatory bodies?
All right, so let me start with
Unique. We can't come get me here, breed.
this is a post-cabinet press briefing and what we discussed in cabinet. We briefly discussed the ruling, and it is my understanding that the Attorney General's chambers, they will be appealing. That's my understanding. In terms of timeline on that, I can find that out and get that back to you. In terms of the implications of it, we've not been able to go through, I know I personally have not gone through the full judgment, and that's not been brought to cabinet for us to look at what are the implications coming from it. But what I do understand is that from my discussions with the Attorney General is that the ruling will be appealed.
Will the government be appealing the
So on the earphone yourself. Who will be paying for the appeal? We are our tax dollars them are use. Remember, so them are the government and the Attorney General and the government are our tax dollars them are use and are appealing. The government of Jamaica is appealing it. The Andrew Honest-led government is appealing it. Yo. Today, Jamaica. Wake up here. What? That's my time. Oh, shoot. See if there's any new message.
The pastors and the members is the listen. The phenomenon that is happening in the churches today, where government are coming in and killing the pastors and the members, is because the glory has been removed. Touch your neighbor, the glory has been removed. The edge has been removed. So you don't want music. Listen, I'm a musician. Listen. The phenomenon.
Chantel, I'm going to send more real perfume. Our fragrance that. Thanks for the gift. Chantel, I'm going to send more real perfume, Chantel. When you hear that Jamaica today, this morning, early, Pastor Peter Chambers was live. And he had this, I'll be releasing this video on my YouTube. He had this, this message about the churches. The protection and hedge has been removed. So, because listen, and it's just facts, you know. If you read the Bible and you read the book of Job, remember, the devil couldn't touch Job, you know, until God removed the hedge from around him, you know. So when God put a hedge around your life, no weapon formed against you can touch you, you know. No demonic force, no nothing. So what he's saying is that the hedge around the church some of the church has been removed. And that's why a man can walk up in front of one church and out the lady life while the church is doing fasting and prayer. That's crazy. Rose Petal, what's up? That's crazy. Lady Andrea, what's up? When the church is the church, that can never happen. So repenting and making it right have to go on. Yeah. Yeah. When the church is doing the right, when the church is not the right, remember back in the day when we used to go to church? Who remember? You couldn't go to church. All right. To all the people that did active in a church, the man them where you call them seer, if you came with the wrong spirit, you couldn't enter the temple. You hear what I say? If you came, any agenda you come against the church, they would have picked it up before you enter the building. You couldn't enter. That's how connected the men and women were to God's voice. Instantly. Sometimes they pick it up before it happened to. All days before a leader say, we're going to have a visitor. Them days they never have social media, so they never have on phone. But then talk to them church leader. And them, you know, the church leader, the man have the church leader meeting. And 1 and 2 is like everybody pick it up and a confirmation. And lo and behold, upon the day, they had a visitor. And it had to be rebuked. And you understand? In the mighty name of Jesus. So when the church when I operate them with them, and I tell them, man, you saw the demonstration of God's power all over the congregation. What do you say? Listen up again. How going on, sir?
Not the mark of the beast. Today's NIDS and NIC, JTA, today's palm payment systems are not the mark of the beast. Today's NIDS and NIC are not the mark of the beast.
Yes.
But they pave the way.
Yes.
For the mark of the beast.
That's right.
Now, that ID, universal ID, is linked to your financial accounts, your health records, your social credentials, and even your compliance with certain regulations or societal standards. At that point, commerce is no longer just about money. It now would become about permission.
This is Apostle Jeffrey Shutterworth.
So commerce, in order to transact business as it is now, is not just about commerce when it comes to that time, but it will be about permission because of the many layers that would now be integrated. And that is how this element of control, absolute and total control, would come into the picture. So permission can be controlled through such a system. To be clear, today's palm payment systems are not the mark of the beast. Today's NIDS and NIC are not the mark of the beast, but they pave the way for the mark of the beast. And the disconcerting, even frightening thing about it is that once your biometrics are harvested or collected, you can't take them back. Did you hear what I just said?
Hey.
You cannot ask the authorities back for them. So, back to the point. So, while today's palm payments and all the other systems that are in place are not the mark of the beast, they are paving the way, they are precursors to the mark of the beast. So, yes, currently they are optional. Yes, currently they are limited. And definitely they are driven by convenience. And as they continue to develop, they do represent a foundational shift in how society thinks because of the indoctrination that is taking place. And more persons are becoming desensitized. They are becoming more conditioned. And so their way of thinking continues to evolve. Their way of thinking about identity is evolving. Their way of thinking about commerce is evolving. The infrastructure being built now will, in the future, support something far more centralized and restrictive. It is only a matter of time. Today's palm payment systems are not the mark.
See if there's anything new. Kadema bitter water. Mr. Ian Hillsman.
Good morning, Western Westmoreland. So today, the 6th
This was 6 hours ago.
Of May, Wednesday, the 6th of May, we celebrate Teachers' Day. A teacher made a difference in all our lives, and I just want to say thanks to every teacher in Western Westmoreland.
That's right.
I want to also say thanks to all the teachers who made a difference in my life, both here in Jamaica and overseas, but in particular here in Jamaica in my formative years. Mr. Green from Mount Grace, Miss Scott from Grange Hill Primary, Miss Thompson, who was the principal at the time, and all the teachers, Miss Watson, Miss Clark, and all the teachers that made a difference. And our teachers are special. I mean, they make sacrifices every single day in ensuring that the kids of this country get an education. And at times their parents, they do everything that a teacher ought not to do at times, but they do it. So they are mothers, fathers, grandfather, they're everything to us. Our teachers are important. So once again, happy Teachers' Day. May you have a beautiful day in celebrating this day while we celebrate you. God bless you all. I thank you on behalf of the entire constituency. Happy Teachers' Day. One love.
Sandra said, Bolo, what do we do? In reference to what, Sandra? Sorry, I missed your comment. In reference to what? What do we do? First of all, we have to repent and pray. Ask God for guidance. We're talking about the needs. We have to pray and ask God for guidance. Your daughter is a teacher? Okay. Tell her Happy Teachers' Day for me. Tell her I said, Bolo say Happy Teachers' Day. All right? God bless her. And thank her. I pray that sweet no what's up. I pray that the teachers get the money that they require and is asking for and deserve. She come home with lots of gifts. That's amazing. That's amazing. There's something else that I forgot to play, no, man. Thank God I didn't forget.
National Party held an emergency press briefing in response to the comments made by
Jamaica Darling said, I am a teacher. Happy Teachers' Day to all the teachers on the live stream, you know, man. Big up every teacher. If you're a teacher, wave your hand. Wave your hand in the comments if you're a teacher. Happy Teachers' Day. You understand? Every day I phone day, you know, because, I mean, every day I want to teach. You understand? You have summer classes. You have winter classes. When you guys go home, the amount of time you spend on your lesson planning and stuff like that. I mean, man, teachers are amazing, bro. And in some capacity, like we that do this on here, and the ones that do research, like critical research, like a Will Rattigan, you know, there's a lot of people behind him, a Will Lonesome, Andre Stevens, you know what I mean, and Anissa Bell Rose, you know, out of for the press, you know what I mean, you see a lot of planning, the Mystic Sensation, a lot of planning goes into the content itself. So, you know, big shout out to those teachers on the app that is online. You see me? I teach the people them Want to big up to Ed Boy. You understand? I learned a lot. Big up to Colin Bell, Ralston, and another teacher. I guess in some capacity, those of us, all of us here on earth is a teacher. Hopefully for good things and not bad things. Because you have different type of teachers, right? Unfortunately, you have bad teachers as well. But big up all of the good teachers them out there, man. Trust me. Let's get back to this.
Speaker Sandy Williams has the details.
Tensions are once again flaring between the parliamentary opposition and House Speaker Juliet Holness following what the opposition describes as a continued refusal to allow its members to be heard. Now, at the center of the dispute is opposition MP Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, who last week was involved in a controversial incident where she touched the maize inside the chamber. Now today, she says she sought to formally address the matter during her presentation. However, she was not given the chance.
I went to the standing orders and I wrote a letter asking for an opportunity to make a personal explanation, which is what the standing orders accord. I had sent to say that I was going to ask leave. I sent it to the clerk, who sent to say, yes, it had been passed on to the speaker and she's awaiting. I have not even been accorded the courtesy by the speaker of saying, I have received your correspondence. I will get back in touch with you. Not even. But the speaker comes this afternoon and she sits in the chair of speaker and proceeds to lecture all of us.
She argues that the
Jamaica, how can it get worse? I'm tired of them. I'm tired of them. I'm tired. I'm tired of them, Jamaica. Tired of them. Born again. I'm tired again. I'm tired of them. I'm tired of them. I'm tired of them. Now I have to go back to Juliet Owen's speech. Because I firmly remember a part of her speech that talked about the right channels. So even though Mrs. Dr. Angela Brown-Burke went through the right channels, she was still ignored. And it goes to our point. You see, ocean wide and all of uno. This is how they show you guys under the bus. The same people in wanna defend. Because you guys go on there and you try to say, well, you know, Miss Dr. Angela Brown was wrong and all of this. And then this evidence comes up to show you the bias, to show you the unprofessionalism of the speaker. So Miss Brown-Burke went through the right channels and was still ignored, not even given the courtesy, Jamaica, of a response that, yes, I got your message. Not even that. How do you work with somebody like this? Have you guys ever been in a work setting where you have a supervisor? Not because they're a supervisor or a manager. Means that they think they can talk to anybody, any way. Yeah, man. And the laws of the land protect you as well. Them feel like so them can do certain things. If you know the law, you take them to court and wrings money out of the blouse and skirt company. You never know. So, yeah. Right? Verbal abuse, all of these things. Right? I cannot, So this speech yesterday was full of BS, rubbish. She wants people to listen to her. And it should be the end of it. I don't know why people come with comments and try to attempt to disrespect on my platform. You're such an idiot. You're such a dunce. You know what dunce you are? You were just blocked, never to return again. You couldn't formulate a better argument than that. Oh, well, you didn't have an argument. That's how dunce you were. All you did was slur insults. Your insults does not make what I say untrue. She's a Jezebel. She have Jezebel behavior. Him get flushed long time, man. When I run joke, you know. Of course, it's a labor right. No comrade now talk to me like that over this topic, right? It have to be a labor right. Peer insults. But yeah, we block them and that's it. Gloria, how you doing? Them 5 minutes of fame done. No, man, them get flushed long time, man. Jesus, my rock, big up. Hey, how you doing, hey? Lenin, thanks for the follow. You said these are the time, guys, when you guys should just bless up the Cash App and bless up the Zelle and bless up the PayPal and bless up everything, the Super Chat. Anytime them demon are coming on our platform, at them time I want to just bless up the platform. You see what we have to go through? These nasty, foul mouth, ranking, disgusting individuals attacking us. Thank you, Chantel. Always answering the call. Big up yourself. But let's listen to this, man. Yeah, man, I'm going to go and bless up the likes, them.
Tensions are once again flaring between the parliamentary opposition and House Speaker Juliet Holness following what the opposition describes as a continued refusal to allow its members to be heard. Now, at the center of the dispute is opposition MP Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, who last week was involved in a controversial incident where she touched the maze inside the chamber. Now, today, she says she sought to formally address the matter during her presentation. However, she was not given the chance.
Whoa.
I went to the standing orders and I wrote a letter asking for an opportunity to make a personal explanation, which is what the standing orders accord. I had sent to say that I was going to ask leave. I sent it to the clerk, who sent to say yes, it had been passed on to the speaker and she's awaiting. I have not even been accorded the courtesy by the speaker of saying, I have received your correspondence. I will get back in touch with you. Not even. But the speaker comes this afternoon and she sits in the chair of speaker.
Thank you, Jesus, Myra. Chantel, thank you.
She argues that the refusal raises serious concerns about fairness and transparency in the conduct of parliamentary proceedings. Now, backing her position is opposition spokesman Dr. Dayton Campbell, who is now calling what he describes as the speaker's impartiality into question.
If it is beyond her to be an unbiased arbitrator, then maybe the government, the governing party needs to look at appointing somebody else as a speaker. And if it is beyond us collectively to have someone who is elected operating that way, because I saw some communique from her elsewhere that she also has to answer to a political party that elected her, maybe we should move to having an independent Speaker of the House.
He also broadened his criticism that the NARA bill currently being debated does not go far enough in addressing the needs of those affected by Hurricane Melissa.
Hurricane Melissa is not mentioned in the NARA bill at all. Right? If you read it, it's not mentioned in it at all. I'm saying one of the most significant, we had the damage of $12.2 billion US.
Hi, Delta. How you doing? How are you? How are you doing? Delta me. How you doing?
Housing damage.
Oh my God, keep them coming, Jesus, my rock. That's how you do it, man. Anytime the devil shows up. We say Marlon Malawu Ford should be the speaker. You know, as much as I don't trust any of them, I don't think she would be a demonstrative. I think she would follow the standing orders. I think she would be, given she's a lawyer, yeah, I think she would, I think yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Especially Febby, big up yourself, man. Oh gosh, man. Keep it coming, guys. That's some money gun me need still for my life goal, you know. Yeah, man. So who can afford the money goal? Yeah, man. Bless up the money goal. I think she would be. Yeah, I think that's a good suggestion. I think that's a good suggestion. But more zoning power, Mr. Campbell says so. No, sir. I could go back.
Now, today, she says she sought to formally address the matter during her presentation. However, she was not given the chance.
I went to the standing orders and I wrote a letter asking for an opportunity to make a personal explanation, which is what the standing orders accord. I had sent to say that I was going to ask leave. I sent it to the clerk, who sent to say yes, it had been passed on to the speaker and she's awaiting. I have not even been accorded the courtesy by the speaker of saying, I have received your correspondence. I will get back in touch with you. Not even. But the speaker comes this afternoon and she sits in the chair of speaker and proceeds to lecture all of us.
She argues that the refusal raises serious concerns about fairness and transparency in the conduct of parliamentary proceedings. Now, backing her position is opposition spokesman Dr. Dayton Campbell, who is now calling what he describes as the speaker's impartiality into question.
If it is beyond her to be an unbiased arbitrator, then maybe the governing party needs to look at appointing somebody else as a speaker. And if it is beyond us collectively to have someone who is elected operating that way, because I saw some communique from her elsewhere that she also has to answer to a political party that elected her, maybe we should move to having an independent speaker of the House.
I like that. I like that. That's a very good suggestion. Let us elect a speaker of the House, void of the two party, them or any party at all. And there has to be conditions of the employment. Any breach of impartiality, ladies and gentlemen, any breach of impartiality is one warning. Another breach, two warning. Third breach, you're out. Yeah, man. No job security. Why is my phone freezing up? Why is my phone freezing up? Is it hot? Why this phone should not be freezing up? Something is very wrong. Maybe I need to check the memory on it. This phone is freezing up. My TikTok is freezing up. Very weird. Hold on, Jamaica. Hope it's better now. Yeah? No, it's still freezing up. TikTok, give me a second. Let me check something here. Wow. Let me check my settings to see the memory space or whatever. What's the memory on the phone like? Yeah, that shouldn't be happening, man. Here we go. Memory. Battery, storage. We have good storage, so I problem. We have 1 gig. Alright, let me see. 1 gig of only. Let me just clean that. See if that helps. So I'm back. Hopefully I'm not freezing up anymore. Yeah, it's still a freeze up. I don't know what's going on, but I'll have to. Are you guys hearing me? As long as you're hearing me, it's fine. Are you guys hearing me on TikTok? Even the chat look like it freeze up. Wow. But yeah, the suggestion that Dr. Dayton Campbell suggested that the Speaker of the House be elected, I would put some conditions on that to avoid this happening ever again. I think that those persons would have to relinquish their right to even vote for any party. They would have to relinquish their right to vote just to be the Speaker of the House. Some really stern conditions, some serious conditions. Because Juliet Onis has really shown up the nasty side of our Speaker of the House can derail democracy. And the order that he's speaking of, ladies and gentlemen, the order that he's speaking of where he said that Juliet, it was on Nikisha Burchell breakdown. Where it is? Come through Mama Burchell. What girl I say?
You have a voice. You have a voice. Okay. I've never heard your voice.
I can't understand how nobody knows there's nothing wrong with that picture here. Imagine the young lady said she had a donor that reached out to her, willing to help, out of their own pockets for donate 2020 house to people in Jamaica, persons in Jamaica, 20 house, 20. And until now, she has yet to get a signature. A signature, I don't see nothing wrong with this. People still under tarpaulin, so tarpaulin. I don't know when the sun hot, man. And the lick under the tarpaulin there, man. And the heat, man. Well, may I tell you, this cannot be Jamaica. This cannot be Jamaica. Them something you know right, man. Come on, man. You're not looking down yourself, no, man. You need now no nice bed of sleep at night time and the people them under tarpaulin asleep. Jaja God, man. Come on. Guys, watch this clip.
It is in.
Man, that's it.
Well, good evening, Jamaica. We interrupt you.
To remain an MP, I will have to run an effort to maintain that balance with fear. It's difficult as a
comfortable sidelining opposition voices. And if you don't believe me, take a look at this.
I've learned it is important to be fair. It's difficult as a speaker because I make every effort to maintain that balance. However, it still has to be appreciated that to become speaker, I ran on a party ticket, and to remain speaker, to remain an MP, I will have to run on a party ticket again.
That's what Dr. Dayton Campbell is talking about. That particular statement is the reason why he said this.
From her elsewhere, that she also has to answer to a political. If it is beyond us collectively to have someone who is elected operating that way, because I saw some communique from her elsewhere that she also has to answer to a political party that elected her. Maybe we should move to having an independent Speaker of the House.
He also broadened his criticism that the NARA bill currently being debated does not go far enough in addressing the needs of those affected by Hurricane Melissa.
Hurricane Melissa is not mentioned in the NARA bill at all. Right? If you read it, it's not mentioned in it at all. I'm saying one of the most significant, we have damage of $12.2 billion US dollars. Housing damage is 156,000 houses. Now you can work that at what the average price for a house is and see that will take a significant portion out of the damage. There is nothing that speaks to the reconstruction of houses for the people of the constituency.
Reporting from Gordon House in downtown Kingston, I am Sandy Williams for
Yourself, Sandy Williams. One more time.
National Party held an emergency press briefing in response to the comments made by the House Speaker. Sandy Williams has the details.
Tensions are once again flaring between the parliamentary opposition and House Speaker Juliet Holness following what the opposition describes as a continued refusal to allow its members to be heard. Now, at the center of the dispute is opposition MP Dr. Angela Brown Burke, who last week was involved in a controversial incident where she touched the maze inside the chamber. Now, today, she says she sought to formally address the matter during her presentation. However, she was not given the chance.
I went to the standing orders and I wrote a letter asking for an opportunity to make a personal explanation, which is what the standing orders accord. I had sent to say that I was going to ask leave. I sent it to the clerk, who sent to say, yes, it had been passed on to the speaker and she's awaiting. I have not even been accorded the courtesy by the speaker of saying, I have received your correspondence. I will get back in touch with you. Not even. But the speaker comes this afternoon and she sits in the chair of speaker and proceeds to lecture all of us.
She argued.
Jamaica. Sooner or later. 10:30 or 11 o'clock tonight again. See you guys then. Like and share this video with 5 people before you leave. Like and share one of my videos on TikTok. Just choose a video and share it with 5 people. And let them know that I'll be live later on tonight at 10:30 or 11 p.m. They said tomorrow? Alright, let's see our word. Tomorrow. Tomorrow, Jesus, my rock. And thank you for the support. Car, big up yourself. Brown Eyes, Destiny, big up yourself. Alright, see you guys later. That's my time. I'm out. Peace. Big up on yourself. Later, YouTube.